Hello everybody again and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host Mike, and Cameo will be with us shortly. He's just doubling out down in Vegas with the old lady, and he will be out after he goes to finish the buffet lines. We'll throw up a couple uploads of some pics he's got on the highlight reel for the intro and the outro. They took some good pictures out there in the Mirage, and he's going to be hitting us up from the Mirage here in a little bit. So we got a good show planned for you today. I've got a damn good show planned for you guys today. So we have 2 new subscribers to the channel, and they commented and they said they want a piece of that action of that gift card. So Radio Man, if you are out there, you have about 48 hours. You'll have until maybe the Friday show, to the Friday, Saturday upload to claim your gift card. If you don't, I'm throwing 2 more entries. I threw in Mr. Guzman's entries. He's in there still. Now I'm putting in Price Rescue. Price Rescue, you got 2. I'm adding you guys into the pot. So they'll be entered into the monthly drawing. But if somehow Radio Man doesn't claim his gift card soon, then we'll be doing another drawing again. You'll be getting a piece of that AMC if he doesn't want a piece of the AMC. Someone's getting a piece of the AMC. So, and then I also have Jae Yang Kim. You're entered too, bro. You got 2 entries, my friend. So you leave the comments for the gift card. Also, at the end of the month, there's going to be the Chick-fil-A gift card giveaway as well. So we're going to jump into these stocks. Check out. We have some good ones. The first one I'm going to talk to you about, it's on the promotion list. So we're going to get to that one. It's being in promoted places. So we're going to talk about who's talking about it, who's trying to drive it up, things like that. And we're going to go into a little bit of data of where it was before. So let's go and dive in, and let's get to it. Okay, guys, so the first stock we're going to talk about is ATHE. ATHE. Yes, it is popping on the pump and dump list and promotions list. So be wary where your entry point is. Now, this one is interesting. I'm going to go to the patterns. I brought up the 3-year pattern, and we're going to go dive into 20. But first, let's get to the current tick. The current tick, last one was $1.49. It is a safe one to play because it's a therapeutic stock there. And so looking at the patterns on it and the candles and things like that from at least January 2020, this thing has been anywhere between under $1 all the way up as high from January 20th, almost above $2, almost to the $3 range. So, and it's been back and forth all the time. It was on, we did cover this stock before, but I'm going to cover it again. We have so many new listeners to the show all the time, so many good plays. It's just you have to find your entry point, and we're trying to prevent the mistakes that other people have made where they got in when they were being promoted. So again, we do not say to when to get in. You have to make that decision. My suggestion is get on the cheap seats, get in a good place, and hold the line and lock in your profits when you can. When you decide to get out, that's your call. We don't do any of that here. So with it's Alterity Therapeutics Ltd. It's or Alarity Therapeutics Ltd. ADR. Going into this one, just a brief description of this stock. They're engaged in the development of therapeutic drugs designed to treat underlying causes of degenerative of brain and aging processes. It focuses on the Parkinson's movement, disorders, Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, and other neurodegenerative disorders. The company was founded by Jeffrey Paul Kempler and is headquartered in Melbourne, Australia. So with this, neurodegenerative diseases, knowing what I know about the future of them, and with everything going on without putting on too much spin and doing the little bada here back and forth, doing a little dancing, you're going to see a spike in neurodegenerative diseases. I'm not going to go into black helicopter theories or anything like that on the show. None of that. We don't do that game here. But I'm going to say that this stock here, simply too cheap for where it's at. It is simply too cheap for where it's at. Now, you have to decide, like I said, where you're getting in. It won't remain at $1.49 for when it goes up, it's going to go up, but it's not going to remain this cheap for a while. You'll probably see this take off sometime, and you're not going to see, once they hit their phases, like I said, these ones are safe, and as far as through the hurricanes and things like that over time, hurricanes meaning storms in the financial markets coming ahead, with this type of stock, when you have China controlling 93% of the pharmaceuticals, and I don't see that changing anytime soon, your safe play is going to be pharmaceuticals and therapeutics and things like that because of health. I mean, you want to have healthy people, and you want to have as far as a healthy population and things like that. And so going forward, anything that has to do with health is almost like, people are not going to stop getting sick, unfortunately, in this world. Our bodies break down, like we cover on the show, things like that. So with this, we're going to go into the website, check it out, and see what we got. And it looks like a good website. I've covered this before, like I said, but we have so many new listeners, I have to do it again. We're just going to go into, we're not going to spend as much time as we did before. We're going to go into it a little bit here. And then soon Camille will jump on the horn as soon as he's done filling his belly with probably crab legs and steak and everything. Maybe we'll get a brief description of the buffet, or maybe we won't because you don't care. So anyways, we're going to go on to the website, check it out, and see what we got in a sec here. Okay guys, going on to the website, well, it looks pretty good, and considering, like I said, it's $1.49, it better look good. They exist, looks like about them, they exist to create an alternative future for people living with neurodegenerative diseases. An alternate healthy life, we have to disrupt the trajectory of the world has come to accept for the people with these diseases, improving lives. Their history, it was incorporated in Melbourne, Australia, and has offices in Melbourne, San Francisco. The company is listed on the Australian exchange and listed on NASDAQ in 2002. We're not going to go into the management team, but what we are going to go into is the pipeline, because that's what you guys care about, is the pipeline. And then we might talk about the science. Everybody always wants the science, right? I guess. First class in treatments for Parkinson's disease. They have the happy, healthy couple there. They're the leading candidates for ATH434. It is the first generation of small molecules designed to inhibit the aggregation of pathological proteins implemented in neurodegeneration, ATH434, and has shown to reduce abnormal accumulation of A-synuclein and tau proteins in animal models of the disease, restoring normal ion balance in the brain. In this way, it is an excellent potential of treatment for various forms of atypical Parkinsonism. And if they can help with this kind of thing and help as far as reduce these inflammations and things like that in people that are suffering with this, more power to it. Not only, like I said on yesterday's show, by doing this, yes, you're making an investment in a company, but you're also helping mankind as well, as far as help themselves to, help treat some of these damaging diseases that are out there. So Parkinson's disorders are a group of diseases in which individuals experience slowness of movement, stiffness and tremor, and constellation of symptoms referred as Parkinsonism. Although most common neurodegenerative causes of these diseases and Parkinsonism are less common, a typical forms in which patients experience Parkinsonism as well as debilitating symptoms. So the first disease targeted by them is the multiple system atrophy, a highly debilitating disease with no approved treatment. So guys, when they come out with this treatment, if they can get to those, if they can get past, looks like phase 1 of the clinical trial program for this is a single multiple ascending dose of investigative into health of an adult of older 65-year volunteers, and God bless the volunteers that are doing this stuff. They're heroes for the fact that they are donating. They're donating. They're dedicating their body and themselves to help people with Parkinson's, and I think that's awesome. The goals of the study is to include evaluating the safety and tolerability of pharmacokinetics plasma and cerebrospinal fluid of ATH434. The data will allow them to characterize the safety to profile ATH434 and understand how it's absorbed and metabolized in the body. So as they go throughout this study and as news pops, you're going to keep on seeing spikes. And then obviously your promoters, some people come in with promotions, they'll short it and it'll go down. And you just got to find your buy point where you're getting in. Because as they progress more through their phases, this is how they go. They're all patterns like this on these ones. And I will tell you over and over again, and I'll say this every day on the show, when I cover one of these, they're always going to pop. They're going to pop, and I'll try to tell you when there's a pattern. This one is patterned. If you go back into its history, they all have patterns, but these ones are safer than some of your other ones out there. Don't buy into all the hype. Look into the actual data, and don't give into all the noise you hear. There's tons of noises out there. There's tons of guys that will be like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna take you to Discord.com and shoot me a telegram." Not to diss on those companies, but they tell you a thing, they get you all pumped up, and then you get in and you got your clock cleaned. So that's what we're here for. We're trying to prevent you from getting your clock cleaned. Filling in with a filler word of data from single-dose cohorts, 3 multiple-dose cohorts indicate that ATH434 demonstrates dose-dependent systematic exposure following oral administration crossed through the blood-brain barrier. Importantly, the results indicated that the doses tested in the study achieves concentration of cerebrospinal fluid exceeding with the associations with efficacy in animal model diseases. So there you go for that one. They also have one for MSA, a highly debilitating disease with no approved treatments. MSA is a rare, rapidly progressing neurological disorder affecting adults. It is known to cause, in addition, presenting motor symptoms similar to Parkinson's. Individual with multiple system atrophy may also experience a loss of ability to coordinate voluntary movements. And that's the other thing too, guys. How devastating is this to the actual person and the actual family members when you see a relative that you've had for the longest time and they are suffering with this? Not only, like I said, are you investing, but you're also giving to science, your money to science to try to help out. They could fail, possibility, but at least you tried. And that's the way I looked at it when they were looking. I started grabbing some of these and wanted to do my part. You know, if I lose, at least I did my best to try to help. So that's your happy message today, and it's sincere for me because I'm a straight shooter. I don't BS about anything as far as that goes. I'm going to tell you how I see it and what I see it, because I can't be bought. So multiple system atrophy is a rare disease, estimated prevalence of fewer than 5 cases per 100,000 people. So they've been granted the orphan drug designation for treatment of multiple system atrophy for both U.S. Food and Drug and the European Commission. So you can go and read all about all of that. You also have latest, like, you go by the science if you want. Go check out the science of it. Even though we covered a little bit, most of the stuff they have about the science. So they have their published scientific research. I'm not going to go too much into it because you can go back to the other show and look at it where we went more into it. They have a 2017 publishing, 2018, 2019, 2020. They also talk about their drug discovery program, and you can go out there and check out the docs and check out to see what their angle is and things like that. I'm not going to go too much into that. What I am going to go to is, just to save time, because I got 2 more to cover, and I got to pick up Cameo here soon when he comes in. He's getting a ride to his room, taking I don't know, the limo or whatever. He's trying to find the valet to give him his ride back or whatever. I don't know what he's got going on, but there's just a little communication there. So we're waiting for him to call in from VEG to hit us up. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to go to StockWits. We're going to check out what the real traders are saying. Okay, guys, going on to Stockwits, just be careful because there are sometimes there's promoters that show up and there are real people, so don't take everything you see on here with a grain of salt. You have Chartmill. He says volume is considerably higher in the last couple days, which is what you like to see when this moves up. ATHE, $2 plus very soon. I'd concur on that. I'd say, yeah, it's a highly possibility there. Wall Street odds, ATH, out of 20 other times, ATH was up 9.2% of trading day, 85% of the time. So they have that stat there. Fat Gainady says, massive alert, 580% profits just in a couple weeks. Congratulations to all the members that followed this. So yeah, there's your promotion right there. ATHE, this is from JD March 14. How come the Australian market AUX is at 3 cents, but the NASDAQ is at $1.49? No comments to receive on that one. Maybe someone will answer this one. Looks like Blueho 193 says, ATHE holding up strong POS here, waiting to fill the gap and have a run. So he's got bullish on that. ATHE running through the toots, holding the boatloads of below. Yeah, if you got in on this on 20, let's just say you played the game on 20. You hit this up in 20, I believe it was 20 of January. You hit that up then. You're at $1.49 now. Imagine as this progresses, because it's breakthrough. When this don't be the do like me with Neurovax and play the game and not pay attention and just go for the noise and not the signal there. I shorted Neurovax. And it was pocket change when I had it, and I shorted it. I was like, oh, I made a little money here and there, and guess what? It blew up. So there's your lesson out for any of you new people out there, is that, remember, don't always follow all the noise, but you learn. You learn as a trader that you can take an L. Okay, taking your L all the time is not bad. It's just too many L's are bad, but it's okay once in a while to take an L because you learn from taking the L. So, ATHE, top calls today. That's just a freaking promo. Let's see if we can get a real guy here. What's the Australian market have to do with the American market? Well, they're all attached and they all fall all together. If one comes down, they all come down and collapse all. Remember cash and carry, all that stuff back from your history books a long time ago. See, that's some things that I actually have. I have a lot of knowledge in history, and the problem with some people is study history, man. Not study from the Google machine all the time. Get sources from all over the place, not just the Google machine, because there's slanted stuff all over the place. But study your history, because history does repeat itself. That's all I'm gonna say. ATHE real price comes out soon. Watch out. ATHE $1.50 would be exactly the percent gain that the actual shares put in the Australian exchanges. Let's see what happens to AUX right after. This stock is a great move coming in the next 5 months or so, dudes. There are some big players here loading, not selling now. Yeah, that would be a good call, especially if you got in early. I think you're safe where you're at to stay put. I wouldn't say short or dump or anything like that, because this thing is got some time to go. I've got one I'm holding on to. It's cancer research, and I'm holding the line. I'm holding the line because, yeah, I could sell and I could get out at a certain point when it goes to where I need it to go. But what's the freaking point? You're just getting the change when you could look at the big picture. These ones are safer than, say, some of your other ones that people are playing on promotion lists and wondering why they're getting taken all the time. So that's what we're trying to prevent here. We want people to come here that have been taken on promotion lists and things like that to try to help them out too. And we also want to give info. It's info and teaching people to not get jumped in on the pump and dump and things like that. So looks like Tommy45 has some good takes. He said, believe this stock seems to be at the bottom. Let's get Cameo in here. Cameo, what's up?
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, kiss their ass and make them hollow, right? So, I was just on Stockwits. I was reading some of the takes. I was just telling them to follow, the signal and not the noise, because the noise is pretty big there. I'm covering your Biopharmaceutical. Remember the one we did a while ago with the Parkinson's stock?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's popping again. But who wants to listen to a guy that drives a Nissan Toyota, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny how these pop up on the list again, all on the lists all the time because they're patterns. So, you know, GTH up again.
Well,
Hello. All right, guys, we just wanted to get the takes from the alphabets because we got to cover their stuff too to see what angle they're at because they're part of the deal there all together. Looks like Yahoo Finance has ATHE Therapeutics announces the new patent to expand the portfolio. So this is what got this popping. The question is obviously when the shorters get out, where are you going to get in on this one? Seeking Alpha says ATHE Therapeutics stock jumps 18% on new U.S. patent. See how they're all mocking each other? ATHE Therapeutics stock off session gets the new patent. Man, they just copy and paste these things to each other all the time, huh?
pretty much, brother.
Yeah, they've got the copy and paste. So there's nothing new to see here that we already didn't cover. Obviously, you can read more about it. I could go through more. I'm surprised. Oh, Market Watch. ATHE Therapeutics share rise 28% after patent. So, could there be one person that just says would repeat everything that like one says, Cameo, and they could just say, this introduce them to what they do. You know what I'm saying? They could go a little more into detail, but I guess that's what they want us for, right?
For sure.
Or maybe they want to hook their buddies up or whatever that are on the inside hitting these boards. So we know the promoter's game now. That's the thing, is that you guys think that we don't know the game and we're a bunch of dummies with dumb retail traders, but we got the game and we're holding, right, Cameo?
Yes, sir.
Usually about this time, Cameo says, "Go Apes."
Yep, go Apes and go Gorillas.
Hey, we got 2 new listeners, by the way. I entered them in the drawing, and they want a piece of that action on the... They said if Radio Man... I was telling the listeners that if Radio Man doesn't claim in 48 hours, we're doing another drawing on Friday. We got to give that gift card away. It's burning a hole in my pocket, and people want it. So they're commenting on the comment boards, and they say they want that gift card. So...
They want it, huh?
What say you? Yeah, Radio Man. I reached out to Radio Man, and you can tell him. You could say, "Dude, I said on the show today, if it's burning a hole in my pocket. So if you don't want it, I've got lots of people that want this freaking gift card."
Well, I got till tomorrow to answer. If not, drawings tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying he doesn't have till Friday. He has till tomorrow, and then we're firing off another drawing.
Yeah, we're not going till Friday. We said 48 hours. I don't know what you're claiming, but...
Well, I was given... You don't need a dog on me here, sir, because I was going 40... I was trying to give Radio Man a little slack. Maybe I was being a little easy on him. So he has been one of the top listeners to the show since the beginning, you know.
Well, he must not be listening if he hasn't heard.
Just an FYI, you know. So hopefully he's okay, though. That's all I'm worried about, is if he's okay or not. So...
I'm just trying to get the gamble, so he's out here now.
Yeah. Well... We're gonna
go double some money because I've been making good money.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna move on to the next one. Check it out, and we'll get right to it. Okay, guys. Going on to the next stock we have is VXRT. VXRT. VXRT Incorporated. Last tick was $8.43. Going into it, circling back with Jen. VXRT operates in a clinical stage biotechnology company which engages in the development of oral recombinant vaccines. It provides influenza, norovirus, respiratory, and sinusitis. They're headquartered in San Francisco, California. Now, this stock, guys, the important analysis on this one is they have a problem right now identifying the flu virus last year. So maybe this might come in collaboration with this, and they can figure that out so they can have the test that actually can detect the flu virus actually. Because, Cameo, I don't know if you remembered, but the flu magically disappeared in 2020 and they couldn't figure it out. So I'm sure we'll probably get a lot of hot takes on that one for that comment that I just said. But that's true. They couldn't find an accurate test for the flu. It's almost like it disappeared, but it really didn't. So going on the website, well, it's an $8 and change stock, so it's not going to be like going out of your mom's basement or going into, let's just say, the trailer park. There are those listings, and I'm not trying to dog on a trailer park. If you like living in a trailer park, that's cool with me. I don't care where you live. It's just that when you list your business there, people are going to scratch their heads and be like, I don't know with this. So their goal is to unlock the full potential of oral vaccines there, Cameo, on this one, VXRT. So we're diving into this if it'll respond here. VXRT's oral vaccines represent the advanced vaccination technology. They are designed to generate broad and durable immune responses, including muscle and systemic responses. The oral route of administration provides a convenient method for administrative relatives of injected vaccines. The oral recombinant vaccines are formulated as a tablet that are enterically coated with efficient delivery to the small bowel. Then entering the coating products protects the active ingredient from acidic environment in the stomach. So there's that little bit. They said by targeting the small bowel, the vaccines engage in finely tuned immune system of the gut to generate broad systematic muscular immune response for robust, persistent immunity. And I don't know if some of you out there don't understand, but a lot of Americans and people around the world, they have a problem with gut, leaky gut, things like that, and it destroys their health. So if this company is working on something like that, Cameo, more power to them, because your gut health is important. If you don't have a healthy gut health, and I'm not talking about as far as like weight and things like that. I'm talking about your digestive system. If you're not taking care of your digestive system, taking the proper supplements, you're going to develop problems down the road. I'm just saying this is scientific. This is my opinion, but it's also been proven from some scientists and things like that. So VXRT is currently developing a liquid formulation for young children and adults who are unable to ingest tablets. So what say you on this so far of what you've heard?
Well, anything to do with medical stuff, that's always good.
Mm-hmm. And again, we told you on the last one was $1 and change. This one's in the 8 range. If you can find some of these, if the management is good and you're playing $1 and change, you could see this $8 range. It's not that far of a reach. You just have to find your buy point, and when you do, you have to hold the line and make sure that you're not shorting and regretting, because 8,000, 10,000, it could turn into more than that. That's why with GTH, I'm not unloading. There's trolls on there telling people to unload on GTH, and everybody's like, bears, stay away. I'm not getting that. I got 85,000 shares. I'm not unloading that, because what's the freaking point to me? Even if it hits a cent, I'm not even thinking I'm getting out on that. I think I'll just hold the line on that. So looks like VXRT's vast delivery platform employs a modular approach using replication in competent it says endovirus type AD5 vector that delivers 2 payloads to the cells of muscular epithelium of small bowel. 1 payload, the gene coding for the selective pathogen, specific protein antigen. The payload, which is always delivered in the gene coding of the toll-like receptor, it looks like TL3, against adjuvant, advocates the innate immune system, and was selectable in the junction to stimulate the broad immune system responses, which basically accumulates to giving you the shits.
Really?
No. Some people talked about my jokes. No, this doesn't give you the shits. I just made that up because I wanted to give you a laugh. We got to keep you entertained. A lot of people were saying yesterday they liked mine and your jokes that we were doing, because sometimes we like to put in a little misinformation, but we're going to say the misinformation we're not going to be like the alphabet channels and try to give you misinformation and say it as fact. We're going to call bullshit when we see it, right, Camille?
Yes, sir.
You have to be fun, otherwise you want to make the program boring.
Don't beat around the bush and just do it.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. Don't beat around the bush, have a little fun, but always tell the truth to your listeners. Don't spoon feed them. If someone's coming to us with an offer and they're trying to say for us to peddle it, we're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna give our opinion, and we're not gonna do a spin. And like I told the listeners before, we're not gonna do the frickin' lambada on some of these products, even if we get free ones. If your product, like some of the listeners said on, like, what was it, Runa we did? Remember when we did the Runa review for the drink?
Yeah.
I told the guy on the drink, I said, you know what? It used to be good, but technically now it tastes like shit. I don't really like it that much. They did something to Runa. I don't know what it was, but I just told him straight up. I said, you know what, bro? You're right. This drink does not taste as good as it used to. So I agreed with him. But I'm sure that they won't give a crap, and they're not going to sponsor us anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Room temperature stable tablets, broad and durable immune responses, proprietary manufacturing process, essentially identical for VXRT vaccines. They're state-of-the-art re-encumbrant. Their safety, they're dosed more than 400 subjects, so they have that in the pipeline with their tablet vaccines, H5N1 flu, H1N1 flu, if you recall that, the swine flu virus, that was pretty deadly. I know some people, I don't know anybody that died of it, but I know some people went down hardcore on that. I know some people that went hardcore on that they were saying they got COVID and that, and they thought the swine flu was worse. I've heard people say COVID's worse, but we're not going to go into that rabbit hole or anything like that because we're not on that subject at all. Right, Camille?
What rabbit hole? There's no rabbit hole.
No, it's just you don't want to dive into the YouTube realm of, well, they think with the sensors and all that. But they are working on norovirus, respiratory, syncytial virus, RSV, and they've observed a consistently favorable safety of tolerability profile with the status state. The phase 1 norovirus clinical vaccines studies demonstrates the VXRT tablet vaccine generated robust, systematic, and muscular immune responses. The present of the norovirus specific fecal antibodies for 180 post-immunization demonstrates persistence of their immune response. So they are getting the immune response. So that's for their oral vaccines. You guys probably want to know about the pipelines. They have a pipeline for norovirus, without getting into it, influenza, RSV, and HPV. HPV affects a lot of women, so that's huge in itself. And whatever we can do to take care of our women, because that is a devastating disease for women. RSV for kids, not a good thing. You don't want your kid. My kid had RSV years ago. Not a good disease to have for kids. If they can do something about that, I'm down with that. Influenza, not going to say too much influenza. I'm just going to tell you to drink your green tea, quercetin, your epigalantin, galley, and read more about it in natural sciences like that. Influenza sucks too, getting hit by that. Norovirus, same thing. Don't want to get it. They're all bad. The vaccines help on these. They're proven. So. And you're talking to a person that's not a cooler carrier for vaccines or anything. I'm just going to call it as I see it straight. We're not going to go into black helicopter theories or anything like that, right, Camille?
Yes, sir.
What we are going to go into on VXRT is, I'm curious, Camille, to see. I know you're not curious, but I just want to see what the alphabets are saying on VXRT. What do you think?
What do I think about what?
What do you think the alphabets are going to pair it on VXRT there when we cover it, when we go into that?
Well, they're probably going to say, well, don't hold the, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to, that's the mistake that they make. They'll go in and say don't hold, and they're going to say to sell, because their buddies are going to go in and jump on the cheap seats when you sell, and that's the mistake. Determining between the signal and the noise is what you have to do. If you're not paying attention to the signal and the noise, You are going to get taken. That is a rule, and that's the number one rule on the show. Going into the alphabets about VXRT's deals. Application for the S oral tablet COVID-19 vaccine, even if you're allowed to talk about that, produce higher serum antibodies than the Construct Express. Both this is coming from Yahoo Finance, both S and N NHP study. The phase 2 clinical trial has an S date only to begin. Looks like 2H 2021. The development of this is a 5-day construct with proceed parallel, so we'll see where they go with that. And they're working on that. That's good. Why VXRT's stock price is beginning to compress in a pennant pattern. Why VaxX surged today. You can read all about that on the Motley Fool. Analysts estimate VXRT Incorporated to report a decline in earnings. That was 6 days ago. But as it did that, the FDA cleared their application for the S only, and guess what happened? If you go on to Stockwits, this stock was up 0.13 cents, which is a significant move. It's not crazy, but at one point at 10.25, you were at 8.80. So 80 is significant as far as depending on how many shares you have. So going on to Stockwits, because we're going to see what the real traders are saying here, Cameo. Diamond Butt says someone is blanking the inmates. I doubt this is a coincidence. I want to do bad things with you. That's from Diamond Butt. Stoke Player says you can tell King Tuck just couldn't hold the excitement any longer. The government is calling on a weekend was the biggest, baddest clue. Any of us are going to go before the moon. I bet his lawyers certainly had to vet it. So read in more about that. Diamond Butt says Sophie may be a feminist group. That's what she's saying for VXRX. Okay, there's no uterus, so no opinion. This guy said, Diamond Butt says blank. I'm not going to repeat it because it's for there could be some people that'll get offended by the comment, but it says, I made sweet love to a woman on a sofa. Okay, good for you, right, Camille?
Yes, sir.
So, where's the plastic needle ban? That's what Beerbound says. He said, plastic straw bans popped up across the country. Washington, D.C. was the first, and blah, blah, blah. Sofas are here for the lazy. He's calling it bullish. Diamond Buck's just all over. What it's like to have a sofa company. Moving up like George Jefferson. Don't you miss that show there, Camille, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the intro on that one?
No.
Dude, that was a classic. Moving on up to the east side. Finally got a piece of the pie. Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Come on, sing it, dude.
Ain't no fries in the kitchen.
The beans don't burn on the grill. So that was a good one. That was the good old days when everybody was united. Everything was good. People were cool with each other, and now they don't like each other and they hate each other and they fight on the screen.
Beans don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill.
Excuse me. Yeah, then you got stuff with The Rock and Fauci.
What about the dude who heard the beats right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much out on this. People are posting Go Team. It's pretty
much crazy stuff, dude. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of bulls. Their promoters aren't in a lot on that one, so that's a good one. We might have to cover a sub. Hopefully it doesn't go to boring land. I know people, listeners don't want to go to the hood, but we're going to go to the hood. We're just going to check out what's popular on the hood and see if there's anything new. They got to update, man. It's the same old song and dance. It's Naked, it's Naked, it's Zoom, it's Zom, it's the same ones, man. There's got to be something new popping. So hopefully Kenneth Clark's listening. He can throw us a bone. I tried looking for one of Kenneth Clark's stocks. Couldn't find it. So anyways, I'm out on this one. Do you got anything to say on this? Cameo? Okay guys, going to the next stock, I'm just going to give you a heads up warning. It is being promoted. It's on pennystocks.com. It is a volatile stock through the day. It's been all over the map, but we got to cover it. So, because we don't...
It's from China.
Huh? Yeah, and it's from China. So, if you notice in there, there's a lot of manipulators in there all the time. They're going to tell you, you're going to make wheelbarrows full of money. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Remember, signal, not the noise. You know, signal, not the noise. You got to check this out. That's why we take you to Stockwoods, because you can get shot straight. It's called One Smart International Educational Group, and it's ONE1, like the Creed song. 101, and that's the end of me singing there. This one's a sub. It's 0.828. The candle started out good in the morning. Looking at the analysis, about 8:10, 8:30, it was playing around, and then about towards the afternoon, 11 o'clock, it just went and took a dump. And that might have had to do to the shorters and the promotions, because that's what happens when you got promotions. So it looks like Cameo One Smart International Education Group Ltd. is a holding company and operates as an emerging growth company. The firm engages in enhancing learning abilities of students. What do they learn? Okay, so it looks like they're conducting operations through its subsidies. The company was funded by Jiangxi, January 2008. It's headquartered in Shanghai.
You're going up.
Yeah, you're blowing it up right now, dude, on this one, man.
Oh, yeah.
So going to the website, let's go to One Smart International Education Group. Okay guys, going on the website, well, looks like sub-penny land, things like that, but it's very volatile just because it is in the sub-range group and things like that, and the promotion ones you really got to watch out, so just be careful where you get in on, especially these. It's going to move up and down, things like that. And you're getting close to Skilo Friday where you can even speed on the highway. So just be careful. Founded in 2008 and headquartered in Shanghai. They're an educational group limited in leading education in China. Their vision is to be the most trusted and heartwarming education company and mission to power learning, challenging the future technology and advancement. I'm sure the Army of Apes are going to be very happy that I'm reading about this, but we got to cover all this to let people know how things are and things like that. Going into the corporate profile on this, I don't want to cover management. Company presentations, we can go into that. It looks like they have the OneSmart FY21 Quarter 2 earnings presentation. That was on May 13th, 2021. You can read the PDF. It just goes into, they say they're the most trusted, power learning changes for the future, premium brand positioning, market-driven, customer-oriented, technology-empowered, premium branding gains recognition, presents premium education sector, focuses on key cities and maximizes market shares and contributes to the center upgrade, continuous launch of innovative new products such as VP, Elite, and SVIP, consistently upgrading premium teaching services. China's premium K2 ASC sector continues to grow, and Smart leads the market and gains shares. One share cash sales 3.7 FY 2020. China pre-K STM 125 2019. 216 319. I'm just going to gloss over it. So they have all their quarter earnings posted. Press releases for this company. They announced the receipt of New York Stock Exchange non-compliance letter regarding ADS trading price. OneSmart International is a leading education company in China today. Announced they'd receive a letter from the New York people there. They also had a plug on state media. They unveiled a new premium brand positioning for young children education products on December 20th, 2020. Price data, the prices just keeps on going up and up and up. Not saying, I'm just covering the information that they have. Let's go check out Alphabet Media and see what the Mockingbird Media is parroting about this, because there's some influence there to be named later. Yahoo Finance says One Smart International Educational Group is limited to holding 2021 annual conference meeting August 30, 2021. That is very interesting. What they'll be covering is K-12 after school education company in China today announced it will hold 2021 annual general meeting for shareholders in the Porto district of Shanghai, People's Republic of China. No proposal will be submitted for the shareholder approval for the annual general meeting. The board company has fixed close prices of the 2821. The holders of the record of the company ordinary shares close business on the record date of entitled to attend the general meeting. The annual report is statements, fiscal August 2020, U.S. Securities Exchange, etc. I would say just if you want to invest in the China company, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But there is going to be some negativity from some Americans that are America First on this. I'm just throwing that out there as a general analyst, as an observer, because I cover all angles. I cover the left and I cover the right. I think this is successful in some areas of the nation. I feel this is success areas in some other forms of the nation. Obviously, it's going to be successful in China. One Smart announces receipt of New York Stock Exchange non-compliance letter 16 hours ago. Let's check that out. Their leading education company in China announced they received a letter from the New York Stock Exchange dated August 3rd, 2021. One Smart is below compliance criteria in connection with performance of trading of One Smart American depository shares. Well, going into more about that, they can probably make a call to their friends in the administration or some of the other political parties, and I'm sure everything will go forward moving on, because there's rules for other people in the game of the stock market, and we'll just leave it at that. One Smart International Education Company, yada yada. One Smart Educational Company, LTD, RTD, drops what? What do they drop? They drop 11.23% for July 2026. Let's see. Asian DRD down 2% as China education stock slumps. So that's another angle you can cover. But what we're going to do, because we're not going to cover what someone says from Yahoo Finance, because I just really don't feel like it, and I covered it. Okay, guys, going on to Stockwits. Looks like we lost Cameo, because Cameo is in the hotel room and he's losing signal, but he's got some pictures for you that he's going to upload. Maybe we might do a compilation video. I'm going to send you some of the pictures on the site, and I'll throw it up on the video today. But looks like going on to Stockwits, this thing has a 14.8% sentiment, and that could be some of your regular traders and not your America First people that are out there. So just covering all the angles. Like I said, guys, I don't have a political angle. I dislike both parties. I feel like they're the uniparty, so I don't have a take on any of it. I'm not really a political cooler carrier. Huge volume today from Jazz. Make sure volume squeeze tomorrow in the PM. My Son's Equity, how this is not trending, 5,000 message volume. And another thing you got to watch out with some of these companies as well, they will send their minions into the chat boards and they will have people carrying the cooler for them. So that's one thing to watch. Just because you see, like when I see a guy that says this stock's going to go up $40 tomorrow and they're at $1.65, common sense tells you that's a red flag. Just an FYI, you know. Let's see. I'm not going to cover this guy because he is promoting. Cam the Man says, my 2 million students have great friends recorded on podcasts. Listen to the full story here of Jordan. He's talking about this stock. Let's see. Again, Swinger Dude. This will hit 60 cents range tomorrow is what he's calling. This was the non-compliance letter. That's it. Hope this doesn't make the stock more valuable. If it doesn't, if you don't like hearing this, there's no reason to argue with me. But the reality is the volume won't be there because it'll fade like METX. And he's got bearish. And yes, Swinger Trader Dude does have a point because we've seen this pattern over and over again with the stocks from over there. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. We see them, they get pumped, promoted, and then just like some of the ceramics companies we've seen in the past, people get in and then they get disappointed and they get... So that's my take on that. Just 5 hours to pre-market open, looking to find a parabolic runners. Okay. Fami, let's see. We're not talking about that one. One second biggest pump of the day, and I still couldn't even empty $1.62 in the bag. POS lost 2/3 of this value in a little over a month. Guys, I'm going to tell you if you're new. If I tell you on here that it is being promoted and you get taken, that's your deal, not mine. I'm seeing people that are getting taken, so you just got to check the promotion list. Do your searches on promotions. See if it's being promoted. Well, I'm calling it. I've got to upload this and edit it. So get your comments in for the gift card. Cameo Radio Man says you got like till tomorrow to get your in if you're watching. Otherwise, tomorrow we're doing another drawing according to Cameo. Cameo is the boss. I'm throwing in the towel here. I'm peace out to the hip hop nation. Don't make it a dog show. Let the cabbage rain and good night now.